guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. It is my first video of 2018. This feels very surreal, and that sound you can hear is rain. We have rain in LA, people, so apologies for the noise, not a lot I can do about it. We have rain. Very surreal after coming back from England. Had a lovely time with friends and family back home. Happy to be back as well and kind of cracking on with 2018. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, amazing holiday period, whatever you were doing. And this is kind of my favourite discoveries, I think, of 2017. This is going to be difficult to get right. It's 2017 kind of favourite discoveries. I feel like there's lots of favourite videos that I've done this month. So if you don't see something in this list, they're probably in a previous month's favourite or like a pro kit favourites, or I'll link to my 2016 favourites. Takes a lot of thinking about. I'll link to that as well up here because a lot of the things that were in that list are still firm favourites. However, I didn't want to make this video an hour long, and there's still quite a lot to get through, so enough rambling, and I will do this not particularly in any order. I'm just gonna crack on. So the first item I have is from Glossier. Now this one I haven't spoken about that much, but after it ran out, I made a decision I'm going to repurchase it because I really love this. This is the Glossier Priming Moisturiser Rich. I always think about what Caroline Hyren says, that your moisturiser just needs to be like an outside coat for your skin. So your serums, your actives, that's going to actually do the things that your skin needs, kind of have the active ingredients. Your moisturiser is just kind of wrapping around them and sealing in that moisture. So for me, this one was really nice. I found it nice for daytime, I found it nice for nighttime. As you can see, it's completely empty, and I'm definitely going to be repurchasing that one. Me and my lovely friend Miss Kelp also started our podcast last year, which I'm very happy to say is going really well, and you guys have just given so many much nice feedback to. Full coverage for anyone who is wondering what the name is. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it below. And one thing that Lindsay did introduce me to is Colourpop. Now, being from England, I'd heard about Colourpop. I knew it was kind of one of those hyped products that was very affordable, a brand that a lot of people talk about, and I'd yet to get my hands on it. And since I've been in America, it's safe to say I am a complete convert, love most of the things in their range. The one that is kind of a firm favourite has to be the Super Shock Cheek. So these are kind of like the blushes, highlighters. I wear these as eyeshadows. They are kind of like a bouncy, moussey texture that's set and pressed, that kind of moves like a cream but sets like a powder, and I just find these are such supreme quality for the price point, so definitely had to be in my favourites. So you guys know I love a waterproof mascara, which means I have to have a very good eye makeup remover to remove those bad boys. The one that I've been going back to a lot this year, and I think this is my fourth bottle, is the Sephora waterproof eye makeup remover. Don't get me wrong, I love the Clarins one, but this is half the price, so I feel like I can have the Clarins one in my kit, and I'll kind of keep this one for myself. I really like this. It's very similar to the Clarins one in that you shake it up. It's a two-phase product, so you have like the oily part with like the micellar water, and when you shake it to activate it, I just find I can hold this over the eye and kind of sweep. There's not too much dragging, no rubbing. Very good product for a very good price point. So the other product that became a real staple within my kind of hair regime, you guys know I'm very low maintenance when it comes to my hair, but this product was a complete game changer in 2017. I think I'm on my third bottle and I have 2 mini bottles. This is the Wave Spray. Absolutely love this stuff. I feel like I've tried other brands and I just always come back to this. I feel like for a nice kind of beachy soft curl, I pop it in my hair when it's wet. I have done a post on this actually as well, which I will link below, on how I kind of achieve like an easy, fail-safe, lazy girl, beachy hair routine. So I'll pop that below, but just a brilliant product that I literally can't be without now. So 2017 definitely introduced me to a lot of new brands that I really enjoyed working with in my pro kit and on myself. Make was a brand that I had never tried before moving here, and I've totally fallen in love with most of their products. Dew Pot in Bronze 1 is what I'm wearing right now, and it's like a cream bronzer but with a kind of dewy sheen, which I love. So I feel like you could almost wear this in no highlighter and still have that sheen on the skin. A beautiful product, very different from anything else I'd seen. And again, I think I have one in my pro kit, one in my makeup bag, and one ready for when this runs out. So I know it might seem like I'm rushing a little bit, but that's just because there is so much to get through. And me and Miss Kelp were also saying that we'll be doing an empties podcast as well soon, so you can see all the things that I've actually finished up and whether I would buy again or not buy again. And also we are going to be doing the makeup Oscars for you in February, so keep an eye out for that, where we're kind of doing the nominees and then letting you know who won certain awards for whether it's best newcomer, etc, etc. So that's gonna be a really fun one. So next up was another new discovery. This is Bjork and Berry's Refining Exfoliating Toner. So for those of you who like your AHA acids, this is a beautiful very, very gentle exfoliating toner, which I like to use maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Love the packaging, very simple. I believe this is Swedish skincare, 99% natural origin, 15% organic ingredients, made in Sweden. I feel like this is very similar to kind of Pixie Glow Tonic, but it's more of like an indie brand, which I'm really into supporting. Beautiful, beautiful product. And since I've gone to try more stuff from their brand, which I'll be reviewing kind of in the new year. So I don't think Gillian Dempsey lid tint is particularly a new product per se, but to me, 2017, it was new to me. So the lid tints, I've got 3 here from my Pro Kit. I have Peach, which is beautiful on eyes. I love this colour. I have Bronze, which again is really nice with kind of coal smudged into it. But the hands down winner within the kind of Gillian Dempsey range would be Dew. This one you can see I've hit pan, how exciting. I have another one backed up ready to go into my Pro Kit for this year. Absolutely love this. I use it on cheeks a lot. I use it for just a really minimal eye gloss. It's very fuss free. Such a beautiful product, and I've had to have like a top 5 favourite for 2017. This would probably make it in there. So really, really love those, and I think I'll be purchasing more colours for my Pro Kit this year. So another thing that was kind of new to me in a concept for 2017, again I know they're not new, but to me they were, is perfume oils. So there are 2 that I went backwards and forwards between pretty much all year, and I feel like both of these gave me enough of what I wanted. So one is the Annie Bing Savage Rose perfume oil, which is rose scented, incredibly feminine, but very sophisticated still, and just a very pure, very clean rose scent, which I've absolutely loved. And then the other end of the spectrum, I have a very, very masculine one that I've loved, and this is Maison Louis Marie No. 9 Valet de Farnie, which again is just very, very sophisticated notes. I just feel like perfume oils on me seem to stay a lot longer than normal perfumes. Maybe it's just me, but my skin seems to really like them. I love that they have like a little rollerball, so it's one of those things that I can keep in my handbag throughout the day. I don't have to worry about anything kind of leaking. Very, very easy to use, and I think I'm going to experiment more with perfume oils because I've really, really been enjoying those. So I couldn't do a favourites video and not mention Keisha Weiss, and there are a lot of products that I couldn't mention in this video just because I've mentioned them again so recently. So again, if they're not in this video, it's just because I've mentioned them recently in another video that's similar. But Keisha Weiss, for me, their cream blushes are just divine. The 2 that I go back to again and again are Blossoming and Sun Touch. These are the 2 that I really love. I just find the colours are beautiful, the consistency is gorgeous, you get a lot of product for your money considering they are a high-end luxury product. Kind of aimed at the organic market, so it's kind of luxury organic beauty, but done really, really well. And I think I've bought like 3 of these now, and I definitely will be looking into more of the Keisha Weiss brand. I've been experimenting with the lipsticks, I'm really loving those. I've yet to try the eyeshadows, so I'm definitely going to have a play with those and I'll report back. So the next one that has to have a massive shout out because I've used it so much on myself and in my Pro Kit is the Glossier Cloud Paints. I just think these are such a wonderful formulation. I love that you can mix and match, you can use them with a brush, with your fingers. They last ages. You get such an insane amount of product in these because a little goes a really long way. If you like a stain and you like a blush that's really going to hang around a long time, these are great. They're great for layering. And Dusk and Puff are the 2 that I've kind of used the most. I did add a little bit of not Puff, Dusk today actually on top of my Make Bronze Dew Pot. I just find these, they remind me of when MAC did something similar. I think years and years ago MAC did like literally in the same kind of like a grey tube that was like little paints, and they had eye ones, they had cheek ones, and I really like that Glossier have kind of brought this formulation back. And you know, I use these on eyes, I use them on lips, I tend to kind of use these for everything. So a really, really versatile product and definitely a firm favourite for 2017. So when you watch back my 2016 favourites, you will see foundations, I think like the Giorgio Armani, the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm still loving all those foundations, and foundations are definitely something that I'm always loving playing with. But the kind of brand that stood out to me this year was Kogendo, and for me, the Moisture Foundation, this is what I'm wearing right now. I feel like these are very true to skin finishes. If you want something that's very, very sheer, I would go with their Aqua Foundation, which is the one in a glass bottle. Beautiful, beautiful formulation. I wish it came in a few more colours, that's its only downside. However, just very, very real skin-like technology, which for me, my goal as a makeup artist is always to make the skin look like the best version of skin, so skin at its best. And the Moisture Foundation, it's in a squeezy tube, so naturally that has a little bit of, makes me a little bit biased, but absolutely love this one, and I'm really glad I've kind of discovered that for last year. So another Pro Kit favourite has to be the Kevyn Aucoin. This is the liquid contour wand. A lot of the writing's rubbed off because I use it so much in my Pro Kit now. For those of you who love his sculpting powder in medium, they just bring out more shades, and I'm very pleased to say they brought out this, which was a cream version. So it's like a little kind of pen, you click it and the product comes out. I absolutely love this. I use it so much for editorials. I feel like whether you're having a very minimal makeup look or something quite dramatic, this works in so many ways, so beautifully. The tones are amazing. I believe this also comes in various shades, the same way the powder does. And it's just one of those products I go back to time and time again. I feel like it's what Kevyn Aucoin as a brand does so, so well. It's like one of their staple hero products. And you know, 2017 was really the year that like I got into cream products in a big, big way, more so than I already was. So this one I definitely recommend checking out if you haven't seen it already. It's funny actually, knowing I was going to do a 2017 favourites, I literally got all my kits out again and had like a big resort of everything the other day, ready for the new year. And it was nice to kind of look back at the products and actually see there's some that I really haven't kind of given enough love to on my channel or my socials. And this is one of them. I think I've used them in one video before, but the Lancome Drama Liquid Pencils. So I have all mine with like an elastic band around them. The colours in these are just amazing, and I've actually used these a lot more on shoots than I kind of realised, kind of looking back in my kit. You get kind of like bold matte yellows for those of you who like your beautiful kind of bold colours. The green's amazing, but also what I love is that they kind of did shades that were matte and bold, but then they'd also do like a shimmer version. So for example, you guys know I love my browns. They did, I think, 5 different shades of brown coal and all with different textures. So some were matte, some had like a shimmer through them, like a metallic finish. They've got silver, there's blue, there's red, there's kind of like every shade you could want. And the formula of this never drags. It's literally almost like a cream in a pencil, but it does set, you get a little bit of playtime, and once it sets, it sets. But I just think this is the most comfortable, one of the most comfortable eye pencil koals I've kind of been using in my kit, and I always forget to mention them, so definitely they get a big shout out for 2017. So highlighters, I feel like we've all had a big soft spot for in 2017. In fact, they've kind of really like hung around, haven't they, since the whole like strobing trend. And one product that I didn't realise I'd had for like maybe 5 years, and I just kept repurchasing, or since they've been making it, is this by YSL, and it is, all the writing's rubbed off, so I don't know what colour it is, but I'll put it in the description box below. It looks like a white lipstick, and this just makes the most beautiful highlight. You can see me kind of dabbing it on here. It is so, so glossy, and I just love this product. It's one that I go back to time and time again. I use it so much in my Pro Kit, and I think from kind of discovering this again this year, it made me buy more of the Volupté Shine products by YSL. And number one, I think this one is number one, but the writing has also rubbed off. I've used this one so much as a cream blush. So I feel like they've kind of been in and out of my Pro Kit, in my own makeup bag, and the shades I have, I just think they work so well as like a really glossy cream blush. So, and really nice and portable. So I feel like they're definitely something I've used a lot in 2017. So mascaras and me have a very tricky relationship, and I feel like we really went through it in 2017. I found some real long-lasting loves, and all at different price points. So one was the Bourjois Volume Reveal Waterproof, which lovely Lindsay Kelp got me into. It's what I'm wearing right now. I find this is very, very good for separation and volume. So the comb really kind of separates the lashes. and it's just such a good price point. It really is a wonderful mascara. The second one was Volume de Chanel Bare Waterproof Mascara, which I've actually finished now and thrown away. I forgot to save it for this video, which I will be repurchasing, and I really enjoyed using that mascara. It was a real kind of luxury experience that gave the payoff. My lashes look great all the way till the end of the day, so I definitely will be repurchasing that, and they were my two kind of mascara loves. And it's fair to say I actually had more mascaras in 2017 that I really enjoyed, but in terms of favourites, those two are the ones that were kind of the top level performers. So when it came to palettes in 2017, I feel like I could have gone with a million different eye palettes, but in a way I think I started to, dare I say it, get a bit bored of eye palettes. I feel like that was what everyone was pushing, everyone was promoting within the brands, and after a while it started to feel a little bit samey. I'm loving the NARS Wanted palette still. I'll link the blog post I wrote on that. That's a really great one that's out at the minute. But actual palettes, I feel like it was when I kind of started really streamlining my own makeup bag. And the one that I've actually chosen is my RMS Signature Mod Collection palette, which I'm going to apologise, it looks pretty grotty because it's been in my bag and it's very well loved. But I love the blush and lip colours in here. You've got the original Magic Luminizer, the Living Luminizer, Master Mixer, and I just feel like this palette has a lip balm as well. The only downfall is it doesn't have a mirror, but other than that, I have used this to death. Like, I can literally put this in my handbag, a little concealer, and that can be all I need for kind of touching up throughout the day. So really nice. That's a really nice organic brand as well if you want to more organic makeup. RMS is a great one. I've absolutely loved that in 2017, and I think it's the Pop palette, or there's another one with different colorways, so maybe I'll try that one next. So concealers, I feel like I have experimented with loads of different ones within my pro kit. The one that I feel was my standout personally for 2017, I would say, was Urban Decay Naked Skin. And I've gone for this more as like my personal preference on myself because, like I said, within my kit, there's so many different ones I use depending on the person's skin type, what I'm trying to cover. So for me, Urban Decay, the Naked Skin one, again, I think it just looks like skin, and that's what I want in a concealer. I want it to cover, I want it to hide things, but I don't want it to feel heavy or cakey, and this never does. So yeah, I'm giving this a shout out as my hero for 2017 in the concealer category. So there's always room for more highlighter, there has to be, because I could not give this one a shout out because I've been exploring this brand a lot, and what I have tried I've loved. This is Ilia Moonbeams and Polka Dots, and I did say, I think, in my the Dewy edit post I did, I'll link that one below as well for you guys, you're gonna have a lot of reading. This one, again, I feel is a very real looking highlighter. There's kind of most minimal shimmer in there, it's like a sheen. Very beautiful. I love this one. I carried this a lot in my handbag last year, and it kind of brought me into other Ilia cream-based products as well. Love their cream blushes. And I think I even said I thought this was my favourite. So I feel like I can't commit to just one favourite highlighter, but this would be up there, and I definitely wanted to make sure I gave it a mention. So I could keep going and going. Like I said, there are so many additional products that I loved as well, but this video would be far too long. If you've stayed to the end and you've made it this far, well done. So one thing I did want to experiment with for 2018, as well as kind of the creative posts I've been doing on my blog, I would love to do a series called Tried and Tested. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'd love to know what you guys think. Primarily taking, say, one item, whether that's waterproof mascara, a concealer for dark under eye circles, things that I know you guys ask me about a lot, and actually kind of put them through a test, like a test, tried and tested. So basically test them through their paces over a day in kind of like a vloggy style video, so you can see how they perform in real light, maybe studio light as well, but more you can get that real life up to the moment feel of how they're performing, and you know, try out different price points as well, so you can see how the more affordable items fare out against the high end, and you know, we can kind of put them in an order of how they performed. So yeah, I wonder if you guys would be interested in that. I think that might be quite a fun one to do, and I think for 2018 I'd love to help you guys really like edit down to makeup items that you love. Of course, we're all going to love watching makeup videos, and I love doing the Icon series, and you know, makeup is escapism, and I love that about makeup, but also it's nice in terms of like the makeup we buy. Just, I want to help you guys like really find the pieces you love this year. So yeah, let me know what you think of that, guys. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe, and thank you so much for watching and all your support in 2017. Here's to a very good 2018 for all of us, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.